Happiness is not something we find in others. It is something we cultivate within. The Buddha taught us that true peace doesn't come from seeking validation or approval from others. It comes from understanding ourselves. In a world that often equates solitude with loneliness, Buddhism offers us a profound truth: the art of being content in our own company. This isn't just about being physically alone, it's about cultivating a deeper, more meaningful connection with yourself. So, how can we embrace being alone and truly enjoy our own company? Here are 7 powerful Buddhist lessons to guide you on this journey toward happiness and self-contentment. 1. Rewire your mind to see solitude as power, not punishment. Many people view solitude as something negative. It's often seen as a sign of loneliness, rejection, or emptiness. But what if we could reframe our perspective on being alone? In reality, solitude isn't about what's missing, it's about what we gain. Buddhism teaches that being alone creates the space for us to connect with ourselves in ways that are impossible when we're surrounded by noise and distractions. When you're alone, you have the rare opportunity to truly listen to your thoughts, to reflect on your life, and to understand your emotions. You can gain clarity about what truly matters to you without outside influences clouding your judgment. This kind of self-awareness is a powerful gift, allowing you to make decisions based on your own truth rather than being swayed by others' opinions. Solitude is also where inner peace is born. Instead of running from your thoughts or constantly seeking distractions, use your alone time to practice mindfulness, meditate, or simply sit with yourself. These moments of stillness help you develop emotional strength, self-acceptance, and resilience. The more comfortable you become with solitude, the more independent and grounded you will feel. A person who finds peace in solitude is unshakable. They no longer rely on external validation for happiness because they've built an inner world that is already full and complete. Embrace being alone, and you'll begin to realize that true power comes from within, not from the presence or approval of others. 2. Create a personal universe that excites you. One of the biggest fears people have about being alone is that it's boring or meaningless. But Buddhism teaches us that the mind has limitless potential, and being alone is the perfect opportunity to build a world that excites and fulfills you. Instead of seeing solitude as a void, think of it as a blank canvas, one where you can create a life that is rich, meaningful, and uniquely yours. Your personal universe is where your passions, creativity, and curiosity come alive. It can include anything that brings you joy and helps you grow: reading inspiring books, learning new skills, meditating, writing your thoughts, or engaging in hobbies that ignite your excitement. When you fill your time with activities that nourish your mind and soul, solitude transforms from something to avoid into something to cherish. Buddhism emphasizes self-discovery, and one of the best ways to get to know yourself is by exploring your interests without external pressure. Ask yourself, what fascinates me? What makes me feel alive? By exploring these questions, you begin to create a life that is engaging and fulfilling, even when you're alone. Building your personal universe also means embracing routines and rituals that make your alone time enjoyable. Maybe it's brewing a cup of tea, taking mindful evening walks, journaling, or listening to calming music. These small but meaningful moments transform solitude into a rewarding experience rather than something you need to escape. As you invest in your personal universe, you'll find that you no longer rely on external distractions for happiness. You'll begin to enjoy your own company because your life will be full of things that inspire and energize you. When solitude becomes an adventure rather than a burden, you'll realize that happiness isn't something you have to seek outside. It's something you create within. 3. Master the art of deep self-conversation. Most people talk to others all the time, but how many of us engage in real, meaningful conversations with ourselves? Buddhism teaches that one of the most important relationships we can cultivate is the one we have with our own mind. When we're alone, we have the perfect opportunity to turn inward and explore our thoughts, feelings, and desires without judgment. Self-reflection becomes a powerful tool for growth. By engaging in deep self-conversations, you can uncover your true desires, fears, and motivations. It's through this introspection that we build self-confidence and emotional resilience. The more you understand yourself, the more you can embrace who you are without needing external validation or approval. Buddhism teaches that true confidence is self-sourced. It comes from within, not from the people around you. Silent strength is the ability to be alone without feeling lonely, to enjoy your own company, and to trust yourself fully. This kind of confidence doesn't need to be loud, boastful, or attention-seeking. It is a deep sense of self-assurance that allows you to walk through life independently, knowing that you are already complete on your own. One of the best ways to develop this strength is through self-awareness. Spend time in solitude reflecting on who you are beyond your relationships, career, or social roles. Ask yourself, what do I truly enjoy doing when no one is watching? What are my personal values, and do I live according to them? If I had no one to impress, what would I spend my time doing? By exploring these questions, you begin to understand yourself beyond societal labels. You discover that you are not just someone's friend, partner, or co-worker. You are a unique individual with your own thoughts, passions, and wisdom. Another key aspect of silent strength is self-trust. Many people doubt themselves and constantly seek advice, reassurance, or validation from others before making decisions. While guidance from others can be helpful, it becomes a problem when you are unable to trust your own judgment. Buddhism teaches that wisdom arises from looking inward, not outward. Meditation is one of the best tools for developing self-trust. When you sit in silence and observe your thoughts without judgment, you begin to recognize patterns in your thinking. You learn to differentiate between fear-based doubts and intuitive wisdom. Practicing mindful solitude is also essential. Instead of using alone time to escape through distractions like social media, TV, or constant noise, learn to sit with yourself. Go for a walk alone and pay attention to your surroundings. Have a meal by yourself without looking at your phone. Spend time doing activities that bring you joy without needing anyone else's presence. The more you engage in these practices, the more comfortable you become with your own company. Silent strength also comes from emotional independence. When you are alone, you have the space to fully process your emotions without external influence. Many people suppress their true feelings because they are afraid of being judged or misunderstood. But solitude gives you the freedom to be completely honest with yourself. If you're feeling sad, you can sit with that emotion, understand it, and allow it to pass naturally. If you're feeling joyful, you can embrace that happiness without needing anyone else to confirm it. Perhaps the most powerful realization in developing silent strength is understanding that you are already whole. Society often teaches that happiness comes from external sources, relationships, achievements, material success. But Buddhism reveals that true happiness comes from within. The more you cultivate self-awareness, self-trust, and emotional independence, the less you will rely on external factors to feel complete. Developing silent strength takes time and practice, but once you have it, it becomes one of the most powerful tools in your life. You will no longer fear being alone because you will have built an inner world that is rich, fulfilling, and unshakable. You will walk through life with quiet confidence, knowing that you are strong, complete, and at peace, whether you are surrounded by people or standing entirely on your own. 6. Turn solitude into a self-discovery journey. Many people see solitude as an empty space, something to be avoided or filled with distraction. But in Buddhism, solitude is not just about being alone. It is a path to self-discovery. When you stop seeing alone time as something negative and start treating it as an opportunity, you unlock a deeper understanding of yourself. Instead of trying to escape solitude, you can use it to explore who you really are, what you truly want, and what brings you peace. Self-discovery is a journey, and solitude provides the perfect environment for it. Without the noise of social expectations or external pressures, you are free to reflect on your thoughts, emotions, and desires without interference. Solitude allows you to peel back the layers that society places on you. You're not someone's partner, child, friend, or employee. In those quiet moments, you are simply you. In solitude, there is no one to impress, no one to compete with, no one to seek approval from. It is just you and your thoughts, and that space can be transformative. By embracing solitude as a journey of self-discovery, you give yourself permission to be vulnerable, to ask difficult questions, and to explore the vast depths of who you are. This is when the most profound insights emerge. Mastering the art of deep self-conversation transforms solitude into a space of discovery and transformation. The more comfortable you become with your own mind, the more confident and self-assured you will feel. You will no longer seek constant distractions or external validation, because you will have found a reliable source of wisdom and strength within yourself. Break free from the entertainment trap. In today's fast-paced world, we are constantly surrounded by entertainment, social media, TV shows, video games, endless scrolling, and notifications that demand our attention. While these things may provide temporary enjoyment, they also create a dangerous habit, the need for constant stimulation. Buddhism teaches that true happiness is not found in distractions, but in a mind that is free, present, and at peace. The entertainment trap is a cycle where we use external distractions to avoid being alone with our thoughts. Many people feel uncomfortable in silence, so they fill their time with noise, social media, and entertainment to escape their own minds. But here's the truth. The more we depend on external stimulation, the less we develop the ability to be content with ourselves. Over time, this makes solitude feel unbearable, not because solitude is unpleasant, but because we've never learned how to fully experience it. To break free from this trap, we must shift our relationship with solitude. Instead of running from it, we need to embrace it as a necessary part of personal growth. Imagine sitting alone in a quiet room without your phone, TV, or any distractions. How does it feel? If the thought of being alone with yourself makes you anxious or restless, it may be a sign that your mind has become too dependent on external entertainment. Buddhism teaches that when left to itself, the mind can either be the greatest source of peace or the greatest source of suffering. To reclaim control, practice being fully present without distractions. Start small. Set aside time each day to simply be with yourself. Turn off your devices, sit in stillness, and observe your thoughts without judgment. If you feel the urge to reach for your phone or seek entertainment, ask yourself, why am I avoiding silence? What am I afraid of facing? Another powerful practice is mindful engagement with activities that don't rely on external stimulation. Try reading a book, painting, journaling, meditating, or even taking a walk without music. These activities allow your mind to slow down and help you reconnect with your inner self. Breaking free from the entertainment trap doesn't mean eliminating all forms of entertainment. Rather, it's about becoming aware of how much we rely on it. The goal is to shift from consuming entertainment mindlessly to choosing it intentionally. Instead of watching TV for hours just to avoid silence, decide to watch something that truly interests or inspires you. Instead of scrolling endlessly on social media, use your time to learn, create, or reflect. When you no longer rely on constant entertainment to feel happy, you gain something far more valuable: mental clarity, self-awareness, and the ability to enjoy your own company without distractions. Solitude becomes a place of strength where you are free to think deeply, grow, and truly understand yourself. Breaking the entertainment habit takes time, but the rewards are profound. You will begin to appreciate the beauty of the present moment, the richness of your own thoughts, and the peace that comes from simply being. True happiness is not found in endless distractions. It is found in the quiet confidence of a mind that no longer needs them. 5. Develop silent strength. In a world that constantly promotes social interactions, relationships, and group activities, being alone is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness or loneliness. However, Buddhism teaches that true strength comes from within, and solitude is one of the greatest tools for developing inner confidence. This is what we call silent strength, a quiet, unshakable confidence that comes from being at peace with yourself without needing the validation or presence of others. Many people struggle with being alone because they mistakenly believe their worth is tied to external approval. They feel incomplete unless they are in a relationship, surrounded by friends, or engaged in social activities. But when your happiness depends on others, you give away control over your inner peace. You become vulnerable to rejection, external opinions, and the ever-changing nature of relationships. Self-conversation isn't just about talking. It's about listening to yourself deeply and with compassion. When we listen, truly listen, to our own needs and emotions, we start to develop a sense of peace and acceptance. In solitude, we find the space to ask ourselves the tough questions and work through the answers with patience and kindness. 4. Cultivate gratitude for the present moment. Buddhism teaches us to practice mindfulness, living fully in the present moment. Often, when we're alone, we're tempted to dwell on the past or worry about the future, but happiness doesn't reside in those places. It's in the now. When you're alone, take a moment to truly experience each passing second. Be mindful of the small things, the way the sunlight falls through the window, the gentle breeze on your skin, the rhythm of your breath. When you're present, you begin to appreciate life for what it is, rather than what it could be. Gratitude helps us shift our perspective from lack to abundance. When we take the time to appreciate what we have, our health, our freedom, our abilities, we feel more fulfilled no matter what our external circumstances may be. 5. Learn to let go of attachment. In Buddhism, attachment is often seen as a source of suffering. When we become too attached to people, things, or outcomes, we set ourselves up for disappointment. True happiness comes when we learn to let go of these attachments and accept things as they are. Being alone can help you develop this sense of detachment. You don't need the approval or company of others to feel complete. By learning to let go of the need for external validation, you can cultivate a deep sense of inner peace. 6. Embrace the beauty of simplicity. Buddhism encourages us to embrace simplicity, and this is especially true when we're alone. Life doesn't have to be complicated to be beautiful. Often, we get caught up in the noise and busyness of the world, but when we embrace simplicity, we find a quiet peace that nourishes our soul. This could mean decluttering your space, simplifying your routines, or spending time in nature. Simple pleasures like a cup of tea, a walk in the park, or a quiet evening at home can bring immense joy when we are fully present to enjoy them. 7. Recognize your wholeness. Finally, Buddhism reminds us that we are already whole. When we are alone, it's not because something is missing. It's because we have everything we need within ourselves. There's no need to seek fulfillment outside. It is already inside of you. By embracing solitude, you unlock the potential to connect deeply with your inner self. You realize that happiness doesn't depend on others. It depends on your ability to connect with your own heart and mind. By following these 7 Buddhist principles, you can transform solitude into a powerful practice of self-discovery, peace, and happiness. Instead of seeing time alone as something to fear, embrace it as an opportunity to reconnect with your true self and create a life that brings you joy, contentment, and fulfillment. True happiness begins when you learn to be happy with who you are, even when no one else is around. Conversation isn't about overthinking or criticizing yourself. It's about asking meaningful questions and listening to your own answers with honesty and compassion. Ask yourself, what truly makes me happy? What fears are holding me back? What lessons have I learned from my past experiences? What kind of life do I want to create for myself? These questions are not just casual inquiries. They are gateways to self-discovery. By reflecting on these, you gain clarity about who you are and what you want from life. Instead of relying on the opinions and judgments of others, you become your own guide, learning to trust your inner wisdom. This is a crucial step in building a strong, authentic sense of self. Buddhism encourages mindfulness, which means being fully aware of your thoughts without getting lost in them. When you engage in deep self-conversation, try to be a neutral observer. If you notice self-criticism or doubt creeping in, gently shift your focus from judgment to understanding. Treat yourself as you would a close friend, offering kindness, patience, and encouragement. One powerful technique for deepening this relationship with yourself is journaling. Writing down your thoughts can help you process your emotions, track your personal growth, and uncover hidden patterns in your thinking. Meditation is another effective way to listen to your inner voice. It helps quiet external noise and brings awareness to your deepest thoughts. allowing you to engage in deep self-reflection without distractions. As you continue to explore who you truly are, you will find that your inner world is rich and full of potential. The more you embrace solitude as a tool for self-discovery, the more you'll realize that you don't need to look outside yourself for happiness or fulfillment. It is all within you, waiting to be uncovered. Thanks for watching our videos. If you watch complete video, write Buddhist Radiance in the comment box.